Now I am going to complete our last lesson, the banyan tree. So open the page number 129. The cobra stood on the defensive, swaying slowly from side to side, trying to mesmerize the mongoose into making a false move. But the mongoose knew the power of his opponent's glassy, unwinking eyes and refused to meet them. Instead, he fixed his gaze at a point just below the cobra's hood and opened the attack. Moving forward quickly until he was just within the cobra's reach, the mongoose made a pretended move to one side. Immediately, the cobra struck. His great hood came down so swiftly that I thought nothing could save the mongoose. But the little fellow jumped neatly to one side and darted in as swiftly as the cobra, beating the snake on the back and darting away again out of reach. So this was the fight which was happening, and the writer and Maina and Crow also watching that. At the same moment that the cobra struck, the crow and the Maina hurled themselves at him, only to collide heavily in mid-air. Shrieking insults at each other, they returned to the cactus plant. A few drops of blood glistened on the cobra's back. The cobra struck and missed. Again the mongoose sprang aside, jumped in and beat. Again the birds dived at the snake, bumped into each other instead, and returned shrieking to the safety of the cactus. And they were fighting this much that the bleeding was there. It was the bleeding from their body. The third round followed the same course as the first, but with one dramatic difference. The crow and the Maina still determined to take a part in the proceeding dive at the cobra, but this time they missed each other as well as their mark. The Maina flew on and reached its perch, but the crow tried to pull up in mid-air and turn back. In the second that it took the bird to do this, the cobra whipped his head back and struck with great force, his snout thudding against the crow's body. I saw the bird flung nearly 20 feet across the garden. It fluttered about for a while, then lay still. The Maina remained on the cactus plant, and when the snake and the mongoose returned to the fight, very wisely decided not to interfere again. The cobra was weakening and the mongoose walking fearlessly up to it. So after some time, now mongoose was feeling very weak. So they don't want to go in that. Raised himself on his short legs and with a lightning snap had the big snake by the snout. The cobra writhed and lashed about in a frightening manner, and even coiled itself about the mongoose, but to no avail. The little fellow hung grimly on until the snake had ceased to struggle. He then smelled along its quivering length, gripped it round the hood and dragged it into the bushes. The Maina dropped cautiously to the ground, hopped about, peered into the bushes from safe distance, and then with a shrill cry of congratulations flew away. And finally it's done. Their fight has been done. And see, in this picture you can see the Maina who is laying on the ground, who was watching the fight, and in between he just get injured. So this was nothing but a small story about how the writer was watching the small fight between the cobra and the mongoose from the sitting on the banyan tree. So in the Discovery Channel you may see these small fights, and in like human beings they also fight. So this is not very big deal. I hope you understand this. We will meet in next video. Thank you.